Hi folks, it's Job Lot Comics here. We're having a look at a Silver Age Brave and the Bold, issue number 86 with Batman and Deadman, made notable by the phenomenal Neal Adams artwork that's in this issue. I love Neal Adams' stuff, and he's always had an affiliation with Deadman and of course Batman, and this is the two of them together. Here's a great splash page. This is 1969 and it's Brave and the Bold gang. So, but at the time, Neal was doing a lot of work for DC on the Batman titles, and those back issues are incredibly expensive to pick up. However, here's a tip: if you want some Neal Adams Batman work and you want it to be a little bit cheaper, and you don't want those facsimiles, why don't you pick up some of these earlier Brave and the Bolds where he was doing the art shows on it. There's no writer credit on this issue, strangely enough, which makes me think Neal Adams was so into Deadman. I think he pretty much created most of the Deadman lore. I just wonder if Neal Adams had a little hand in the script for this issue as well as doing the artwork on it. He did really like Deadman. If you know, you can maybe get in touch and let me know. The other thing I like here about Neal Adams' style at this point, this is 1969, is it's almost Jim Steranko in his the way he's doing some of these panels. Do you know what I mean? Look at those ones there. To me, it's very Jim Steranko. I could be wrong. They were obviously, he was taking influences from somewhere. And you see it later on in this issue as well. There's some other panels that make me think a little bit of Steranko. But some great Batman stuff here. So if you fancy picking up some Silver Age Neal Adams Batman artwork, but you can't afford those Detective Comics and Batman issues that he did, why don't you have a look at these Brave and the Bold? And he did a lot of these issues. They're just a joy to read and to look at. And like I said, you can get them, especially in low grade, and they're quite easy to get on eBay. So you can pick these up quite cheap if you're a fan. So like I said, I don't think there's a writer's credit on this issue. I certainly can't see it anywhere. But it's usually, I think it was Bob Haney that was doing an awful lot of these Brave and the Bold issues at the time. So maybe Bob Haney and Neal Adams here. Look at this stuff. It's just great, isn't it? Yeah. So if you see these anywhere, you should really just pick them up and grab them for your collection. Later on, Jim Aparo would take over the art chores on Brave and the Bold, and I loved Jim Aparo's artwork as well, and I think it was because I probably didn't realise it at the time when I was reading it, but Jim Aparo was pretty much doing an impression of Neal Adams when he was doing this stuff. So there's some fantastic Brave and the Bold issues with Jim Aparo artwork that looks really like Neal Adams' artwork, and again, they're really easy to pick up. What the? And they're worth looking at. So there you go. Brave and the Bold, 86, classic issue, Neal Adams all over it. Fantastic Deadman and Batman. If you see it, pick it up. Thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.